Here is the routine that makes a star. It's in subprogram number 1 at tab 25. So it's a call to 125. Now we'll go back, execute the application, and see the star. Here is the star. Now we can go through the trail of the program, and we'll go through it 9 instructions at a time. We see it going around the loop, making the vectors, and here it makes the polygon and then exits. We can look at it in real time by clicking on RT. Here we see that we're at tab 25. Here we see the values that it set for the rotation, the size, the second size, and the position X and Y. In real time, we can change those values. For instance, we can change R. We can increase it by 100 by going out to the third digit and clicking at the top of it. It increased it by 100, 200, 300, 400. Notice it just means that it starts at a different angle. Now we'll go back. It appears to move only because the points are at different positions, so it looks like it's moving. The size is 100. Well, what if we told it the size was 200? We'd click once at the top of the 1. Now it's 200. Now it's 300. Now if we click at the bottom of the 3, it'll go back to 2 and then go back to 100, size it originally was. This is the value of the smaller part, the inside. See, the longer ones are out here. That was 100, and this is 50. Now remember, they changed from 100 to 50, 100 to 50 because of the swap command. But here, we're going to make this one less by clicking on the bottom, make it 40. Notice the tall ones stayed where they were, but the short ones now are moving in. 30, 20, 10. Well, we won't take them to 0. Well, we'll click it back up again from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. Back where we started. Over here, we see the 4i starting at 1. And down here, the next I40. Well, let's see what happens if we change the 40 to 30. Well, we don't see any change. And the reason for that is it was told to draw 40 of them, and the data is still in the array called point. So I'm going to put that back up to 40 for now. Later on, when we look at the array called point, we'll see what's happening. Inside the loop, it changes value of R by increasing it by 24. That makes it go completely around the circle, because there are 960 angles in a circle. 40 times 24 is 960, so it made it all the way around. If we would lower this number to 20, notice what happens. A polygon stopped here because it didn't get all the way around. But polygons always finish themselves by going from the last point then to the first point. So the more I reduced this, the further this got back, because when it drew these points, it didn't get all the way to 960. Well, to make it look right, we should put it back to 24. So I click on the top of the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Now it completed the circle. Let's see what happens if I would go on further and make it go further around the circle. It starts to look strange because it overlaps itself. So we better put it back to 24. Here's the value of z that told it how many points to use. We said we created 40 points. And of course we went around the loop 40 times for I of 1 to 40. 40 times. So when we told it how many there were, we said 40. If we would say there's fewer, let's start with, we'll say that there's just 30 points. Whoop, a bunch of them went away. When it draws it, draw only 20 points. Well, it only went around halfway. Again, we'll put this back where it was by clicking on the top of the 2, make it go to 30, and then to 40. Now we can also go forward in our real time. So I'm going to click forward, and now we've gone to another screen of things that we can change. Or again, it shows us the next I and the number of points that this dot P is being told about. When it was told that there were 40, then it drew it all 40 all the way around. Well, there is one thing here that we could change that would be interesting, and that's here. It says what the color is. Well, we could go ahead and change the color. We know right now that it's 400, 600, 400, and 600 are the two colors made up in our star. The 6 out front says the colors start in the center, you see the lighter red, and then go out to the points, the darker red. Now if we made both reds the same, I click on this 4 twice. Now it's 600, 600, so you don't see any change. Or we could go out here to where the 600 is and make the red a lot darker. We reduce it, reduce it, reduce it to the color of red. In the center here is really a dark red. You could go even further. There, now you really see it's dark red. Go down to a red of 1. Shows like it's blackish, but we'll move it back up again where it was. So there you have real time. Now we're going to go back again to where we can make changes to these values. We didn't change X and Y. If we increase X, well, star moves over there. Decrease it back again, 5, 4, 3, 2. Value of Y is similar. If I increase it, it's going to go further down from the top of the screen, 300, 400. You can accidentally draw something that is off the screen. It will not give you any error message about it because it thinks you wanted to do that. But later on you'll move it onto the screen. So that's not a problem. And when we reduce Y, it goes up there. Now I could click on any of these. I could have moved it 10 at a time. And move it back. I could have moved it just 1 at a time by clicking on this. So when you're in real time, you can make changes to the size, position, rotation, and other things by going here to RT. And the program is actually changing. If we change one of these, like the value of X to 100, and we go back to the program, turn RT off, go back to the program, we'll see that it actually did change the program to 100. So you can make changes to the program through RT. You don't have to go back to the program, change it, execute it again, and see what it's like. Anyone that has an immediate value, that's what we call these, can be changed through RT. Now let's take a look at the data. We know that it's creating these point values. So we're going to go to point X. We're going to go to the beginning of it. This is the values of point X. We got here by saying data and go to point X. Now we see that the first one is 0 because we didn't define the first one. We started with this one, which is offset 1 to offset 40. There. Now we're going to notice that if we change the value of X in the program and make it 300 instead of 200, these values will all increase by 100. So I'm going to increase my X to 300. Look, they've all increased by 100. Same thing with Y here. Let's say I decreased Y 100. If I go back and look at point Y's, look where they are now. Look where they are if it's back at 200. So in RT, you can look at the data and see how it changes when you change the values. While programming, get information from the glossary by clicking Info. Thank you for watching.